In this video, we're going to create a chess set that is very unique. It is 3D and it's made in Blender, but when you view it from above, it looks 2D. So to do this, we're going to have to do some clever boolean modifier operations for intersecting mesh. So we'll start out by creating a pawn. So we'll use a curve. We'll go to edit mode and view it from the front, and I will delete all the segments and click draw. And then you can just draw your pawn. Like this. Boop. Let's go modifier properties, add modifier, screw. And we got ourselves a pawn. Let's make it a little bit slimmer. Let's just adjust some settings. Boop-be-doo. Is this a pawn yet? Yeah, that's a pawn. So the thing about bishops is that they're really just tall pawns. So let's just make it tall. Let's make it a little bit pointy. Oh, that's too... Oh no, that's weird. We need the little dot on top. And zoomed in. There we go. Okay, so there's our bishop. So let's make a queen, and a queen is just a tall bishop. So let's make this even taller. You know, I always struggle to remember. Whoa, that's a queen. That's the queen. I was about to say I struggle to remember how a queen looks like, but this just feels like a queen. Let's make the king. Yeah, we need to just... Wait, what? No, this guy should be... Oh, that's the long neck. What does a king look like? Is this a king? Oh, wait, no, this is a king. Right? And then the... Like this? Yeah. Yeah, we'll deal with the cross later. Yeah, that's... Oh no, that's way too wide. You know what? This is weird. I want to do... Yes. So the rook is also a pawn. It's just a little bit, you know, it's been in some tougher battles. So we're gonna have to just see if we can do... Is this a rook? I thought I remembered what chess pieces looked like until I started... Is this a rook? Yeah, this has to be a rook, right? Yeah, and then we'll do the ba-doop-be-doop-be-doo. Yeah, perfect. Now, I was almost hoping we wouldn't get this far, but now we're going to make the knight. And that's going to be really difficult, so let's just try it. Let's get rid of this. Oh, I have no idea. Can we just draw the horse? Like this? This is a horse, right? And then the boop, and the ears, and the neck hair. I'm not that good with horse. Oh, is this a loop? Nice. This is a really good horse. We're going to make this into a mesh. And we're going to extrude it and fill it. Yep, perfect. Where's remesh? There's remesh. We can just boopity boop boop. And let's go ahead and sculpt. And I'm not a sculptor. Oh, we need to apply this. Let's set it to smooth. Smooth this. No, isn't... Oh, the symmetry. Perfect. Is it just me, or is this horse going beyond all expectations? Ears. Oh, this one is the best one. Boop. It looks like a hippo. Ah, it has to be a horse. Bumpity boop. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? No, it's still a hippo. Is it more a hippo now? I think this is going to be a bit removed anyways. You know what? That's good. I know what you're thinking. This is the worst horse ever, but there's a trick. Do like this. So we want this to be the bottom of the horse because we're going to like cut it open under here. So delete the faces, and we're going to look at the scene statistics. Edges 84. So if we take this one now, this base thing, if we set this to 84 now, oh, we have to make it to mesh first. So now we can delete some of this, select the base and then the horse, Control J to join, and you have both these selected, F3 bridge, yep. And this looks super weird. Control V, smooth. just smooth. Ay, ay, ay. So let's go back into sculpt mode. Let's just, oh, recalculate. So let's smooth this. I know what you're thinking. This is not a chess piece, but it is. We're going to cut it from above. So I've tried this a little bit and I think it's going to be just fine. So that's all the chess pieces. Now we're going to convert these to mesh, and we are going to have to do some minor housekeeping to just prepare these. So convert to mesh, and we're going to have to, so let's just close these holes. And the bishop, oh, what's really cool about the bishop is, you know, the bishop usually has this, the shape of the silhouette of the bishop is often like this, right? Wow, that's a really good drawing. Okay, never mind. You know, it usually has this thing right here. And you might be thinking, well, where are we going to add that? And the thing is, with this workflow, we don't have to add it. It's going to just appear by itself. And the exact same thing is with the rook. We won't have to do this thing or whatever. It's just going to be automatically cut like this. And it's a really cool workflow. Okay, so now our chess pieces are made complete. You know what? Can we like? Yeah. So now we're going to find some 2D chess designs. And if you go on Wikipedia, for example, and search for SVG chess pieces, oh no, this is Wikimedia. I think that's the same. You will get all this design that is made by the user C. Burnett. And this is the design that is mostly used online. I think it's the default Lichess design. But I'm not super happy about the way the king is designed and the way the queen, the strokes of the... I'm not like super happy about this. So I did some research and I found this article on Wikipedia. Chess symbols in Unicode, which means you can just type the character signs for chess and they will show up in any software if you have the right font installed. So here is an overview of different fonts and how they interpret chess design. So this font called Free Serif looks really great. Isn't this number 2 one? And what's also great is that this is a GNU free font, which is GPL 3.0. You know, I'm not a legal expert, but this sounds pretty good. So let's scroll all the way down. Let's find the references, GNU Project Archives, and under free font, this one, 2010.zip, you can download it. Let's place it on the desktop, right click, extract here. So here are the fonts, and if you sort them by size, you can see that the free serif.otf is by far the biggest one, 2 megabytes. And fun fact about Windows, if you right click and drag on your desktop, you can get this menu and you can copy it instead. So now we have this font saved to our desktop. Perfect. So back in Blender, let's create a new text object. We can write something and you can set the font to be the one on your desktop. Now if you go back to the chess symbols in Unicode article, you can scroll down and you can see here's a chessboard using Unicode. So now you can copy all these characters, which are chess piece characters. You can just Control V and you have chess pieces in Blender. Perfect. So now let's do the pawns. You know, let's just do one pawn like that. So that's the black pieces. Now let's do the white pieces. And then the pawn. So what I really like here is that these are sort of inverted. So they are going to work without colors. Compared to this design, that is really cool because this uses sort of 3 colors. It's transparency, black and white. But this uses only transparency and then 1 color. And I think that's really cool. And I also think this design is just really good. Look at this horse. It's much better than what we just made in 3D. What's really cool about this, now you can just select all these, right click, extrude, and you have these 3D models in your scene. If you go ahead and watch the SVG tutorial, you're going to find a lot of information which just explains importing SVG, because these by now are basically SVGs. If you convert these to curves, they are identical. So I recommend checking out that tutorial. It's going to help a lot because I'm going to do things a little bit faster in this video. So we are going to give these a material. That is very important because it's going to be impossible to do after we've done the boolean stuff. Let's call it inside. Let's just make it a very distinct color. There we go. And let's give it this one as well. You know what? I want to be super safe. Okay, so we're going to color code this. And I don't know why, it just feels better. So now we're going to convert these. So right click, convert to mesh. So we're going to start separating all of these. So select one of them and then press P. Just go through them and separate all these objects. Except for the pawns. You can do by loose parts. So now all of these, if you, for example, set the origin to geometry and do like this, yeah. Perfect. Wait a minute, there are duplicates here. I should be thinking a bit more before I do stuff. Yeah. Okay, there. Okay, so let's move the pawns over here. You know, I'm thinking if we should name these. Yeah, you know what? Let's name it. Whew. Oh, these are in the wrong order. We're going to have to... okay, so the pawn, rook... Am I playing chess right now? In 2D? So let's take this pawn and line it up. That's the king, right? Yep. So now it's all about just lining these up. Well, oh... It's very important that they cover all of them. Let's take the queen. By the way, when I'm scaling, I'm not just scaling. I'm scaling with S and then Shift Z. So then we're not messing up our height. And that's very important because in chess it's this super strict hierarchy where you can't really mess with the height of the pieces. So there is a chance that this just won't work some of the times. Remember that the knight needs to be facing forward. We're going to actually apply that rotation. It doesn't actually matter that these overlap because it will only be these that will survive once we have made the cut. Okay, so this probably looks a bit weird. Oh, we have to select all of these, right-click, merge by distance. This is incredibly important. You see, we moved 10,000 vertices. That would have messed up our entire workflow because the boolean modifier is just mysterious. Oh, and by the way, you can see these have this different sort of placement. Nothing to worry about. It's going to be completely fine. Ah, it's these we should have named. And we're going to... Oh, wait, no. This is really important. Oh, this is so important. I'm so glad I remembered this. For the material setup to work, these pieces, for some reason, needs to have both materials. We're going to give this material white 3D piece. And we're going to just make all of them have the same material. Okay, perfect. Let's duplicate these. And let's be super precise here. Oh, by the way, this other knight has to be turned because it's the only piece without rotational symmetry. These have the wrong materials. It has to be inside black. And then it has to be black 3D piece. Doing all this material stuff beforehand, it's such a time saver. And I'm just really excited if this is going to work. And let's start chopping away. So let's select all of these. Just to make things easier, I'm going to set the viewport display as bounds. Now we know that this is correct and we know that they're inside and we know and hope that this is going to work. Let's start with the rook. Let's give it the boolean modifier. I just want to have a little taste. White rook, very interesting. Ooh, see that? It's already working. Oh, and the materials are set up as well. This is proof that it works. So now we can set the object data properties, normals, auto smooth. So now this is a rook, and when you view it from above, it's a 2D rook. How amazing is that? You can set this to flat. You can see that this is actually a 2D rook and a 3D piece. Amazing. So let's do it on the rest. Let's disable it on this one and then copy it to all of these. So now all of these have their empty boolean modifier, and let's just start linking. Oh, the horse works as well. Amazing. Bishop. Ah, the bishop doesn't work, but we'll come back to it and try and fix it. Queen. Oh, queen works. And by doesn't work, I mean that you can see it's transparent. And the color helps us to tell that it's not really working. Let's have a look at the king. Oh, the king works. Oh my god, the king looks a little bit like a queen. We might have to address that. Interesting. So the pawn always works. Yep. Now for the black pieces. Oh, this is going to be so cool. I'm very excited. Oh, look at that. How elegant is this design? It's sort of shroom. That's amazing. Now let's do the black queen. This is the black queen, yeah. And oh, this is amazing. Oh my god. Look at this design. This is like majestic. It looks like a king and queen. Like so cool. It looks like it's, what is this, drapes? Like a dress? Oh my god, this is beyond expectations. I had no idea the colors would be so cool. Black bishop. Oh, bugged as well. We might have to look at the 3D model there. Oh, the knight. This is going to work. Yes. Oh, that's really cool. And then the rook. Black rook. Wait. Ah, perfect. So there we have it. Some of them are a little bit bugged. Let's take a look at the bishops first. What might help is actually just to set this to fast. Yes. It actually works. Oh my god. Look at this. This is amazing. And here's the thing I told you about. You know, the bishops usually need this thing. This one, it's sort of built in, right? You get it for free. How cool is that? And the same is with the rook as well. Both of these have these. Okay, so this isn't that dramatic. This is just a little. But yeah, but this one, look at this one. Yeah, I'm not super happy about the rooks, to be honest. But we'll get them some details here. That's interesting. Let's actually do a proper check with each model to just see that nothing is broken. So yeah, we're going to delete these floating parts. Yeah, so I'm looking for holes basically, and I can't seem to find any. So now let's look at the queens. These looks good. These look amazing. Ay, ay, ay. And it's like super sharp here as well. I'm not really sure if that's super cool, but yeah, but look at this. It's like a dress. Oh my god. I can't believe how cool this is. You know, I was thinking that this might be like okay, but I think it's really cool. And I have so many ideas for this. The kings looks great. Okay. So if I were to find some holes, let me show. Oh, I can't really replicate any mistakes because it's too perfect. Pawns looking good. Okay, so let's convert these to mesh. Right click, convert to mesh. And this basically applies all the boolean modifiers. So now I'm going to just clean up. I'm using L to just select the floating pieces. And you can't really see that these are sort of being ruined. So you can delete all this, no problem. Then you can just test to see, yeah, no moving parts here. Let's test this one, yeah, no loose parts. I think this one has a lot of them, yep. And oh, his entire nose is floating. So, wow. Oh, it still looks like a horse. Even though the nose is gone, that's really cool. I mean, it's a really weird horse. That's really cute though. A little snout. I don't know why this looks so weird. Perhaps we can fix it with an edge split modifier. Yes, we can. That looks really good. Fantastic. So apparently all of these are going to need an edge split modifier. Yep. Any floating parts here? Okay, so we have this one. This is a floating part. But it's not that much floating. It's more like standing there. So I guess it's okay. Which way did we go? Yeah, let's do the queens. Oh, we can just... That's much better way to do it. Just like this. Yeah, perfect. This queen is so cool. These ones, these are amazing. This one is interesting. The king. But it has so many loose pieces. Should we remove this piece? I mean, we're sort of supposed to, if we're following the rule. Okay, so we have to keep this, this, and this. Doesn't this look a little bit weird? Yeah, I think I'm keeping the head. It wraps around like this, so it's really difficult to see that it's actually levitating. So I think we're good. Now we are getting ready. You want to take a look? Let's take it in orthographic view. Let's set it to flat. And let's actually look at our 2D chess set. How cool is this? We can even have them as the same color. This is so cool. Okay, so let's actually set up a chessboard. And you might be thinking, oh, it's going to use a shader. But we're going to use... I've been waiting my whole life to use this feature. Checker deselect. Boo. Oh. Oh. Okay. And then, finally, we get to do the checker... What? Okay. There we go. Assign. Perfect. I don't know what's real here. Yeah, so this is wrong. How big are chess pieces? Like this? No, it's a little bit smaller. Oh, they're standing on the board already. Almost like they're ready to be played. Now let's do the pawn. king. Oh, where's the king? Yeah, that's how we know I'm not a good chess player, because I always mess up where the king and queen are going to stand. Bishops. Bishops. This is actually one of those things that takes less time in real life, I feel. Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing. I can't wait to click this button, rendered view, if you know what I mean. I mean, you do know what I mean, because I just said what I meant. White pawns. No, this is the black pawn. Like this. Yes, yes, yes. Rook, knight, queen. Is that right? Yes. King. Boopity boopity doo. That's much faster than the previous one. Why didn't I? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Ay, ay, ay. So we're going to create another plane. Let's give it a little bit of a frame here. And then we can move it down a little bit. And then we can take this edge. There we go. Perfect 2D board. Swoop. Perfect 3D board. I think the king is a bit weird. Is it just me, or does the king have this expression like this? Yes. By the way, we are in Blender 3.0 beta, so we have cycles X. Oh, yeah, it just says cycles. Trust me, it's cycles X. Let's add a light. Oh, and by the way, I'm using area lights now. I've always been like, oh, you should use mesh lights, but area lights are great. Sort of retract everything bad I've said about this light. Ay, ay, ay. So dramatic. Perhaps the board is too bright? Yeah, a little bit. Oh, by the way, if anyone tells you to never use the add shader for stuff like this, don't listen to them. So the pawns aren't completely round, which looks weird. What if the pieces are glass? But not entirely glass, like just this part? I want to see it. Oh, it's a bit underwhelming. Perhaps with a different color. Ah, it looks a little bit interesting. Let's have a look at the white pieces. No, what is this? Oh, wait a minute. You can't really see the material when you're viewing them from above. We can actually make these quite dark. And we can make the white pieces dark as well. So this is actually really interesting. You can make the white pieces white because they're white like this. But when you're viewing them from the top, they have to be sort of negative, so they have to be dark here. But that's no problem, because these colors aren't visible when you view them from the top. This is a really cool concept. This is a bit more classy, if they're not like super screaming color. This is a really cool chess set, in my opinion. I mean, it's a lot. It's probably too much. How cool is this? The bishop is like 1/5 of a queen. That's just such a cool design thing. That like, okay, so you might want to take the bishop, which has like 1 value, but the queen, you know, 5. You should go for the queen. And then the pawns are like not even 1. Now we have this design that when you view it from above, like perfectly from above, you get this, hey, it looks a little bit like a 2D design, right? And that's like, it's almost like a fun fact. It's not like super visible. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I see it now you say it. But a really cool way to just make this super visual. Let's change the light to a sunlight. Let's take all the pieces. Let's move them right up. Look at this. How cool is this? The shadows are perfect, of course. If you have direct sunlight, these shadows are perfect. So here we have basically made a piece of cloth. And there is bright sunlight coming from above. You put a camera underneath. You could sort of record the movement of these pieces. So if someone were to 3D print this design, you could probably do like a chess match where it's possible to film from below. So let's say you move the pawn and it goes out of focus because it's away. And then when you place it on the square, it's going to be like sharp again. You won't have to use these really expensive chessboards. So that is a chess set that works in 2D and 3D. And now I'm going to try and render it out and just showing off this design. Oh, by the way, feel free to add me on leeches.